So that Mountain Dew bottle I showed that I have that's stretched like this, it was Tommy's shoes. And he used to show it every once in a while. He'd do a video from inside his house showing something, and he'd show that bottle, or they'd be in the background, or he'd show it on purpose because he knew I liked it. And every time I saw it in the video, I'd comment about it because I really liked it, you know, because I like Mountain Dew and I collect some Mountain Dew things, and I saw that bottle and had to have it, so I'd bug him about it every time. And finally, one day it just showed up in the mail and he sent it to me. So I thought that was really cool. And so I know he likes Dr. Pepper, and I know he loves these stretched bottles. So I looked and looked, and I found this old bottle, and like I said, the bottom, it just got stretched too much so it doesn't stand up, so that's how we made this stand. But this is actually the second one I got. I found another Dr. Pepper bottle, and it wasn't as old as this one, but it got broken shipping, so I'm scared to send this because I don't want it to break. But I have the package that I received this bottle in, so it made it here, so hopefully it'll be good enough to ship it out.
Nice drizzly day in Washington. And I'm cold, but that's normal, even though it's not really like cold. That's cold. Don't do that. I'd rather it'd be much more. Going somewhere?
Yeah. I am.
Alright, see you later. Taillights out again? Things like maybe that'll wake Jim up. Maybe he'll come over.
Starting to mask off here. Boy, I tell you, it sure is nice to have help back out here in the shop. I mean, I don't know what I would do without all this help. Yep. But yeah, got the place blown out a little bit, and my car out in the rain, getting washed, and stuff like that.
Just like the Bondomino. It's like just like
I lied.
wish you weren't alive.
Sorry, it's music again. If you can't watch it, cut your face.
That's beautiful.
It really is.
I really like this tonneau cover that you made.
I do too.
You gonna keep it?
Yes. For a few days anyway. Actually, we need wheels that are sucked in further in the back. These ones are almost touching the floor now.
If you measure that back spacing.
Yeah. Well, the tires are going to be a lot skinnier than this, though. These are 235s. I'm even running like 185s, 195s.
What are these?
235. I don't think I want even a 205 though, because then they start looking wrong. You know, you need to have that curved sidewall. I think on a 14 by 6, I could run a 285, 70 or something like that. Maybe. I think that's, I don't know. I did a little bit of research, but I don't know.
You got all that clear off, sir?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. What a pain.
So, think it'd fall off.
I know. That's what I don't get. Same thing like with my car. For how well it stuck to some areas and then other places it like just flaked off. It's crazy. It's like maybe somebody actually prepped it right in those couple spots.
They could have not prepped the cow, I know that.
I know, that was a pain. Sorry you had to finish that, sir.
Oh, that's fine. Just trying to get some. I'm gonna get rid of the scotch, but that's
Oh, bless you.
Oh, allergic to the alchemy. Car loves you, sir.
What's that?
I said the car loves you.
Wish I could just name the driver and be done. Guess I could.
Right. You yellow like verifying or whatever. There you go. Yeah. You say you like yellow, right? What's going on here? I can't even reach that far.
There's a mask in the front. I got the wheel on left.
Angel.
Right.
No.
But Angel said you're heading up. I said, wow. Tell lunchtime. You got a cheap.
We'll eat lunch now. We'll never eat dinner until midnight. We eat at Denny's tonight.
Back to old times, sir.
Just because Jim showed up for one day of work doesn't mean it's back to old times. It takes like a full week of that to be back to old times.
And I gotta leave.
Oh, he's leaving.
So come on.
Oh, here for what? What's that, sir? Oh, he's going to a dinner. You see that? He won't even stick around for the full process. Sir, you've been here for one day and now you're already taking vacation.
Not true.
Yeah, I see how it's going, sir. Well, that means is now we don't get to take a lunch. Oh, we're going to get back on this El Camino. Well, I gotta go. See you guys. Oh, sorry, my wife made me go to dinner with my real friends.
That was uncalled for, sir.
You got that right. But now at least I know how it is. Let's find out now than later.
We're the #1 buyer Fiat dealership in the state of Washington. We just set our all-time Fiat sales record, and I checked with my team to do it again with prices.
What's that, sir? Sir, don't change the subject. You might be going to get a Fiat with your friends later on your double date.
We make it so easy. Just go to fiatautomotive.com or see when you get here.
Oh, I can't go through that whole thing again. Take two. Tommy Shoe, this is for you. These lights are 12 volt. I need one of those things that plug into the wall that converts this to 12, that convert that, you know. Yeah, you know. So, where can I find that? Or do you just want me to send these without it? I don't know. I was going to mount these to the wrench so it lit the bottle up from the bottom. I have 2 of these. Or I was going to slide them in the bottle, but then you can, you know, I don't know. Or maybe you don't want them. I don't know. They're purple lights. And then there's these, which we were thinking about making more feet for the end of it with these. So this would stand up when those would be legs, you know, crossed on that end. So once we figure out if we're doing that or not, it's yours. Jim made the stand for you. I found this bottle. You already know about that. And it just won't sit flat because the end is, you know, not flat anymore. So that's why we made this stand. Or he made the stand, and we thought it would be sweet to make it out of Craftsman wrenches. So these are all Craftsman wrenches. So that's what's going on with that. Or if you want it just like this, you can have it just like this, and I'll ship it. I don't want to let it sit here forever because I'm really bad at procrastinating on these things, but it's yours. And I was just, like I said, I was trying to figure out what I was doing with these lights and whether we were going to add those other feet on the bottom or not. I really doesn't need them because it sits on that. But, yeah. Waiting on directions from me. Well, you've both followed them so well already, I think everything's done. Yep. Excellent work. And Jim did such a good job, he gets the rest of the day off. Alright, I guess I'll come back and prime this or something. I don't know. Alright, here we are. It's later in the day. Let that warm up to about 60 at least. And then we'll spray some primer on this. Well, Jim may have left, but at least he left me some propane. Said I'm going to polyester prime the tailgate, this quarter, this door, this fender, that quarter. I know I'm going to put regular urethane on the roof, this door, and this fender. The hood could go either way. We'll just see what happens. I have a gallon of this polyester primer here, and I have a quart or so left of the Sherwin-Williams stuff. So yeah, should have enough for what I'm doing. So this bottle here is the hardener for the poly. It doesn't come marked, so I marked off equal sections on it. So each quarter of the bottle is for a quart of the gallon of poly. And I think this happened to Charlie. I'm not positive, but I remember him texting me something about needing to buy more hardener because the top of the bottle popped off. Anyway, I had my quart of poly in a cup, and I took the cap off the bottle, which is around here somewhere, little screw-on white cap, and I squeezed it before I tipped it over to make sure, you know, I didn't need to cut the top off, because sometimes they're sealed and the air came out. So I tipped it over and squeezed it, and the whole top popped off, and this whole bottle started dumping in. Luckily, it all went into the primer and not on the table, and by the time I tipped it back up, I only had a quarter of the bottle left. So there was 3 times too much hardener in my quart of poly. So I just dumped, the only thing I could do is I dumped that back into the rest of the gallon and then put the rest of the hardener in the gallon and mixed it all up. So I had a gallon mixed up. Luckily it's not too warm, otherwise I would have really had to hurry because this stuff hardens pretty fast. You generally don't want a gallon mixed up sitting there waiting for you to spray. So basically I had to use it all, which I wasn't sure. I thought I might be using it all anyway, but being I was only going to poly, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, and I already had a little over a quarter of the Sherwin, which I put on the tailgate. It's a little bit different color. Anyway, I ended up polying the whole thing, the hood and this fender and this door, the roof, because I had it all mixed up and I had to use it. But I had plenty. I put 3 quarts on the quarters, 3 on the tailgate, and I think I put 2 quarts on this fender and this door, or 2 coats on this fender and this door. 1 coat on the roof and 1 coat on the hood, and I think just 1 coat on this fender and 1 coat on that door over there. But anyway, figured I'd show it to you before I put guide coat on it and hit everything. You can't really see anything because it's flashing off and there's not really anything to see anyway. It's all one color, which is nice. I don't think I've ever, in the 12 years or whatever that we've had this car, I don't think it's ever been one color. I would like to stop now, put it together and be done. But there's lots of sanding to do now. I don't know how this brand of poly sands is custom shop, so I'm assuming it's Omni, PPG, or something else cheap. But yeah, I'll guide coat it, hit it with 180, then re-guide coat it and hit it with 320. And then I'll either, at that point, I'll either urethane prime the whole thing, or if it's good enough, I'll seal it and paint it. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I still don't know if this car is going to be clear coated or if it's just going to be a, you know, basically single stage, flat single stage. I haven't decided on that yet. Originally, I thought it was so rough, I didn't want to clear it. That and the fact that I know it probably won't last, you know, too many years. I didn't want to waste a bunch of money and materials and clear coat, spend the time clearing it and cutting it and buffing it, because it's just gonna be a daily driver as far as I know. I don't know. If the owner of this car is watching and wants to comment on what they would like, flat or shiny, even though flat is way cooler, go ahead and comment now. I wanted to paint it green. My dad doesn't want it green, he wants it teal, like the factory aqua-ish color. I wasn't wanted like a light metallic green. It's going to be lowered on the Supremes, 14-inch Supremes with the skinny white walls. He doesn't have a choice in that because I'm doing that before he ever gets it back. I originally wanted to put the bellflower tips on it, coming out here, going down the side. Still might, I don't know. We'll see. The bodywork doesn't look too horrible. It's not perfect, which is another reason a flat paint would look better. Like these body lines here, it's kind of funky right there. The wheel lips, not perfect. And this body line here, yeah, I made all this stuff. You know, there's metal there, but it's under there a bit, and it was just so hammered and warped from the patch panels and everything. And the homemade patch panels, and yeah. So by the time I block this out, it should be pretty decent. I've looked at a lot of these pictures of these El Caminos 64 and 65, trying to figure out what these are even supposed to look like back here, because I didn't know. So hopefully I got it somewhat what it's supposed to be, but like, it doesn't really matter, I guess. And I looked at a few of these cars in person, and it seems like every one must be full of Bondo, because this body line's always gone. The body line, I looked at one shell the guy was selling that was wrecked in the front. It was in pretty good shape, it was black. There was no body line here at all. The quarter panels were completely flat. And in a lot of the pictures, if you Google 65 El Camino, you see a lot of pictures of them, and half of them don't have a reflection. You can't see this body line. So it must be a common problem. On one side, this side, the body line, when I was done, was too prominent, and I had to round it off. And this side, I couldn't get a body line. It was so, quarter was so flat. I had to make the body line with filler. A lot of it, you know, like I said, was the patch panels we put in here. This side, the gas door was here, so we welded a flat piece of metal in there. And yeah, I'm just rambling on now, but pretty funny about that poly primer. I have to ask Charlie if that's what happened. I can swear that's what happened to him. But anyway, just thought I'd show it to you before I guide code it and hide everything.